she's contributing 300,000 Uganda shillings to her tuition. So thank you so much, and for all those that are watching, you can always be able to contribute what you can, because education is key. Right now in a society where we have the tourism board saying that women, Kavi women, can now be a part of the tourist attraction list, it does shake our heads, but we have a number of women who are actually doing something. Now, away from that and onto a conversation that will be in regards to mental health. Have you heard of Eugene? Eugene is an egg. Yes, an egg. Now take a look at Eugene and what is actually happening on that end of things. Now Eugene is an egg that came to the light because she got herself the most likes, the most retweets on Instagram and Twitter. She is the Instagram egg, and this week she finally cracked. Not hatched, but cracked. Take a look.
See, y'all remember that egg that broke Kylie Jenner's most liked photo record? Well, word on the street is that the egg done cracked.
Now Eugene is, as you see, Eugene, very beautiful egg, right? Well, the egg cracked. Why? Well, listen. In regards to the fact that everyone was liking and liking and liking what Eugene was looking like, Eugene cracked because of the pressure. Yes, she did. And not just any pressure, but the mental pressure in regards to what goes on social media. It has gotten to her, and she has cracked. And this is all to create awareness that you need to talk to someone. Now for you, we'll laugh and say, well, I could post a picture and it will go up, and well, everyone will like and everyone will comment, and then I'll post another picture. But for a number of people on social media, more happens when they post a picture. Have you heard of body shaming? Have you heard of people just, these memes and memes, as some people would like to call them, those are all things that have led to a number of people cracking because of what is said. We cannot go away and run away from the 21st century and mental health. There are things like depression. And I am joined in studio by Mr. Timothy Kaliajira. Good morning, Mr. Timothy.
Good morning.
He is a local veteran journalist and he's an online publisher of Kampala Express. We also have in studio Juliet Nafuka. She is a researcher, collaboration of international ICT policy for Eastern and Southern Africa, and we're also joined by, let me say, Mr. Faisal, who has said to laugh at the Mr. bit of things. He's a social media influencer, and I'm going to each hand to them what could be a sister or brother of Eugene. So please do accept Eugene's sibling.
Okay.
And
so I take the rest?
No, you don't know. Each one. And this egg that they're all holding simply symbolizes mental health. It symbolizes how fragile you are on social media, to those likes, those double taps on Instagram, those comments that come through, that the harder you knock, as you know, as an egg is so fragile, you could just drop it and it could break. So we're going to start with what social media is to each and everybody on this table. And we'll start with a lady. Juliet, what is social media to you?
To me, social media it's both a playground and a learning space. Personally, I dabble between the two, but I find that I prefer to learn a whole lot more from it than to play on it. I'd rather play with people, talk to people, interact with people in that way. But nonetheless, I still study what's happening online because, like you've said, we need to be quite aware of what's happening in that space. But in order for it to be more of a playground for others, we need to be aware of what is happening and the impact it has offline as well.
Okay, and to you, Timothy?
It's breakfast to me.
Away from the breakfast part of things, please.
Social media is, well, I guess, a modern Tower of Babel, if I can summarize it that way. Every shade of opinion, content, psychiatric state, from the most serious to the most casual and frivolous. It's an echo chamber of humanity. That's what we see at the front end. At the back end is priceless data patterns that are the reason why Google and Facebook are multi-billion-dollar companies.
Okay.
That's the summary.
Okay, and to you, Papa?
I mean, actually, the best definition is, to me, social media is literally my bread, because I make money off social media. Yeah. And it didn't start out like this. I mean, in the beginning, it was just go online, fake picture, fake name, and you just, bundle everything you want on there. And I feel like at that point in time, it was okay. It was free. No one knows who you are. No one knows your picture. No one knows what you're posting. But you'd still make money. Yeah. But we're now in an age of social media where it's about being real. You have to be you. You have to be the real you are in life. It's the real you are on social media. Yeah. So it's confusing to me.
Okay, so it's a very confusing thing. On social media, we've heard of things like bots. We've heard of fake news. All these being on social media. Now, Timothy, you did put out a tweet in regards to the positivity and negativity on social media. I would want to read it, but I think I should let you share your 2 cents on that.
I don't remember what tweet that was. I tried to find Twitter, Instagram,
yes.
Facebook, and as I said, I can't remember. Can I quote myself? I don't remember that. But I guess I was trying to say that the characteristic of Instagram, of course, is this, escape-based, like Vogue magazine online. Instagram now replaced the fashion magazines as the primary lifestyle. If you think of the old Ebony, Jet, Reader's Digest, all rolled in one, that's Instagram. Happy-go-lucky, escape-based, fashion, lifestyle, beauty, fun, image. Twitter is this place that is, like I said, most of our radio and TV talk shows, the anger, the policy people, everybody's angry with the other, and it's all centered around governments, presidents, elections, by-elections, corruption, scandals, accountability, and that sort of thing. So Twitter is the angriest, and that's why I think it's just not growing. And then Facebook is a combination of Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
There is a happy-go-lucky, playful side of the internet that is Facebook. Then there is this angry government, governance, elections, Me Too side.
Yeah. Now, in regards to Twitter, let's focus on Twitter, where, as you have said, we have the angriest number of people, and one way or another, they don't actually see what they're doing to the person on the other receiving end of it. Personally, there are a number of social media sites that I've chosen to have accounts on, but I don't disclose my thoughts as they really are because of how angry people are and how I see them each and every single day bashing someone, tearing them down. And yet this is someone's opinion. Yes, Juliet, I don't know if you've been a part of it. And as an influencer, Pipe, I would like you to be honest. As you has maybe just looked at it, have you noticed the anger on social media?
I mean, yeah. You could just tweet, guys, good morning, and people will just throw a bunch of insults at you just because they feel like they're entitled to it.
I've learned this one of what's so good about the morning from Twitter.
There's I wouldn't say angry as such, but social media right now, you need a thick skin. You really need a thick skin, and that's. You're not going to control who's going to comment on what you're tweeting because it's Twitter. Anyone could comment. I mean, if Trump wanted, he'd also comment on your tweet. It's not like Facebook, yeah, where you limit who's reading your tweets and all that. You can do it on Twitter as well. There's the protected tweets feature, and I don't know why a lot of people who are facing backlash don't do this. Yeah, there's an option where you can actually protect your tweets, and it's only and only the people following you that you have allowed that can read your tweets, and then life would be okay. But everyone joins social media and they expect this, oh my god, it's a loving community. I'm from Facebook. Facebook, you post a picture, people come, oh, nice hair, nice this, nice that. It's the opposite of Twitter. People on Twitter will always find something to complain about. That's just how it is.
So, Juliet, we have angry people on Twitter. Once again, it's all like people. There's that anger. People will just complain about anything. Juliet, what would you say in that regard?
I think we have negative opinions or mixed emotions coming through across all platforms. It may appear that Twitter is angry because the bursts are quick, short. They come through quite fast. Facebook requires a bit more of a lengthy response sometimes, but still we see short responses coming through there. So in my opinion, I think there is a trend that is mirrored across all platforms. But whether one is more angry than the other, it's up for debate. Someone can say I've been attacked more on Instagram than I have been on Facebook or Twitter. So limiting to one will be very different for the different users based on the type of content they post and who they are. Yeah, so when we look at it from that perspective, let's look at it through a gender lens. Of course, women will have a very different opinion. They'll be attacked across all three. Maybe men sometimes experience this differently, but when we look at it through the gender perspective, the women's content will be pulled off Instagram and brought onto Twitter. It will be pulled off WhatsApp and taken to Facebook. So there's an interlink between the different platforms. So isolating one over the other sometimes reduces the extent of exposure that one, rather negative experiences that one has on the different social media platforms. But yeah, so I'd be hesitant to say that one is more.
But now that you talk about the interlinking of things, even from just WhatsApp, there is this bit that we need to be more aware of, and he mentions it, that you now need to have a thick skin to have a social media account. Timothy, I'll start with you on this one. How do I have a thick skin on a social media account? I mean, I've come to just express myself. It's my account. Why can't I just enjoy my moment on my phone without feeling like someone is throwing things at me?
Well, I guess social media, as I said earlier, echoes human civilization, and all these idealistic people in the late 1990s when the internet started going global, who thought, you know, we need media freedom, need everybody to express themselves, one world, one love, one everything, now have seen the true story, humanity. And that's why you begin to understand the point of view of some governments that block the social media platforms just around elections. If on an ordinary day, just saying, you know, good morning, and that is a cause of anger. Imagine what happens the day election results are coming live on social media and a losing side thinks they've been cheated. This is not on social media, a nuclear war can erupt from that place. So I guess because it echoes the rest of life, it then requires even offline that you have a thick skin anyway. I mean, every woman virtually above the age of 18 knows it's almost like par for the course. You walk through a street, there are going to be several pairs of eyes following you, there'll be somebody whistling. It's just part of this everyday experience. And therefore, I guess the best way to handle social media is not to be in it. If you have that sort of egg-like fragility, then avoid it, because as I just said, you just can't control who's going to say what. If you're like some of us who've got, I guess, hide skin, who can sustain daily responses to people, like what happened to me when I viewed the screen of Katwe, or a few other things, you learn interesting things. People actually just are incoherent. You know, the world is like half crazy. People are just like don't know what they're saying. People respond. Some actually genuinely just said, but well, how can you say ABC? And then you reply and say, okay, thanks. So you actually do not think. People are angry. You know, life is just a pressure cooker. Just look at the last 10 years since the world financial crisis, the high unemployment rates, the student debt in America. You know, you went to Harvard University, you got this $400,000 debt that you never pay until the 70s. The unemployed numbers in Uganda, to take an example, 83% youth unemployment. Just imagine the pressure. And then, ironically, the content on Instagram is mostly, as I say, holiday, lifestyle, beauty, cosmetics, and that sort of thing. But then that very positive and warm side to Instagram is what frustrates people the most. Because remember, when I take a holiday in Zanzibar, post a picture of you at in the Bahamas, in my timeline, everybody picks up that one happy moment. And so in your timeline, this continuous sign of people successful, doing well, nice, graduating, just had twins. Everybody seems doing well except you.
Actually,
so you start to wonder what's going on.
And that's why I'm not active in Instagram. When I joined Instagram, it was all about, you know, to take a picture of anything, a leaf, and post. And 2 years in, I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling, my friends are on holiday, this guy is married, this guy is... I'm like, you know what? My God, every time I hit Instagram, I leave it depressed. Because my age group, my age mates, and I feel like they're doing so much more, you know. There is people that are taking pictures, they're in different hotels. At the time, I didn't know you could just walk into a hotel, take a picture, and post it and tell people, by the way, I'm at, I don't know, Skies or something, but you actually just took a picture or something, And about Twitter, let me just share something that people don't know. we are in a generation whereby it's people look at it as a prestigious thing being mean. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, that guy is mean, he's so cool. Oh my God, that guy, he's savage, he abuses people, he's so cool. And I'm not going to blame it on the current generation. I'm going to blame it on the earlier generations that were on Twitter, because Twitter started out like that. It was savage. Yeah, you come, you just don't know what you're doing, a guy abuses you, guys retweet. Someone just says keep quiet, people retweet, because they have that sense of the more savage you are, the more, you know, prestigious you look like. It's like a cool thing. Yeah, but of late it's you know, people are trying to fight it, people are trying to wash it out. You abuse someone, people come to you like, yo, how can you do this? I'll take an example of Anita Fabiola. She recently posted a picture and she's like, I'm a god.
Yes.
Yeah, the very nice dress. I loved that post. I literally did not even consider the caption. Yeah, but you know, people came, forgot about the picture, looked at the comment and like, how the hell do you call yourself a god? Yeah, and I don't know, they did everything. They abused her, they did this, they did that, and just for retweets, because no one is going to give you a job because you're very good at abusing people online.
But then that raises one other thing that we need to talk about, that now for someone to get a job, let's take Kevin Hart for example with the Oscars, him not being able to host because of a tweet he had put out. Do people now need to be more aware of the fact that we can tell who you are based on your tweets, or based on the comments you put out, based on what you post, or are those two different people?
It's a misinterpretation, but
I think as the work environment has evolved, the requirements around the persona, who you are as an individual, in the workspace and outside of it have merged a whole lot more as a result of social media. That has become a trend with human resource officers now looking into the online activity of a person. But whether it's actually ethical or not, something else. It's being looked at. Whether a person is a fantastic accountant versus whether they post bikini pics of themselves, and whether those pictures should influence whether they get the job or not. You know, there's a whole lot more thinking that is required around that, and we're seeing that on social media activity influencing the decision sometimes, and fairly so. But you mentioned something earlier about watching what you post online. So there's a whole lot of self-censorship taking place. So where people otherwise have something solid to say, they resort to rather simplistic arguments. Yeah. Because of the fear of the backlash when they actually do take a stand for one thing or the other. Those who do take a stand and, you know, stay by it, you know, they've built a thick skin around them. But others learn. You know, you learn as you go along the way. So that's what we would like to get to the point where you are able to take a stand, not so simplistic or just regurgitating what you've seen elsewhere, and stand by it solidly with the solid argument, with factual information, as opposed to, you know, self-censoring yourself offline, I mean, getting off completely, or resorting to simply liking for the sake of liking, you know, to be part of the crowd that has supported position and
As we wrap up this conversation, I'm going to ask each and every one of you to just simply, in one way, what's that one piece of advice you tell someone who is now a user of all these social media sites? How can they protect themselves? Because mental health, thanks to Eugene, is coming to the center of it all. So we'll start with you, Timothy.
If you can't handle the pressure on social media, well, as elsewhere in life, if you have stage fright, don't become a musician. If you don't be a singer, number list, are you going to work Africa Cup of Nations qualified because you won't handle the pressure of social media? If you can, I guess it's, as I say, I like to see it as a waste of time. The front end, as I said, is a waste of time. It's the back end that's interesting. But very briefly about this social media as CV, I'm an advocate these days. I've been writing about it on Twitter. Because of all this cheating of exams and whatnot, you're not sure who studied where and who achieved what and who cheated what at exams. My argument is you can fake a CV, you can fake academic papers, but it's very difficult to fake the true you, the live personality. And HR people know it's not how good you are as an accountant, it's those outbursts when your salary is delayed. So social media, interestingly, reflects much more who we are than our static symbols.
Yeah.
Okay. And to you, Justin? That one piece of advice that you give. Yeah.
I think we are still in a phase where we're still excited about being online. For many Africans, social media is the entry point into the greater internet, which is why when we encourage a culture of opting out as opposed to staying in and managing the narrative, we are losing out in terms of more local content that could otherwise be posted online. We still have very little of it as a continent. So social media is the entry point where people are telling those oral history stories, which eventually then become blog posts, which then eventually become books or movies, whatever we limit ourselves. So in terms of remaining online, I think basic digital security practices are needed. Know how to block content that you're not interested in listening and in looking at. Know whom, be comfortable letting go of people who are not adding value to your timelines. And that's one thing that we've seen people hold on to people because, oh my goodness, what would it look like if I opt out of this WhatsApp group which is not adding any value? If I let go of this friend on my Facebook page who's not, we need to have the capacity to walk away from people and content which is not of any substance to us. But also manage to utilize the various tools that are available on some of the platforms to manage our peace of mind. Selective words that you do not want on your timelines, you can edit those out, have them filtered so that you get only that which you need and which is necessary to protect
their mental health. Thank you so much, Juliet. And to you, Pepper?
First of all, I want to remind people, social media has literally from 13-year-olds, this is Twitter, because now it's from 13 and above. So it has 13-year-olds to, I don't know, wherever, 80 or something. So the values you, a 20-year-old share, are not going to be the same values the 15-year-old shares or the 30-year-old or the 50-year-old. Because you might post something, the 13-year-olds to 20 years will find it cool, and an old guy, a 50-year-old, I'm going to say Timothy is an old guy, but he'll come and be like, this is a bit disrespectful. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell people to opt off social media because, as much as we are angry, there's making money. There are so many good causes on social media. There's Me Too, 10K for gift, tuition for
Justin.
Yes, tuition for Justin. All this is social media. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell people to opt out of social media because you'll miss out on a lot. But what I'm going to tell you is, come with a thick skin. Not everyone shares the same values that you do. We all grew up from different homes, so we all interact differently. We speak differently. We see views differently. Yeah. So instead of opting out of coming to social media, join the conversation, change people's minds. Tell people it's not cool to be savage. It's not nice. It's all about getting retweets, but then after that, then what? People just look at you as, oh, that guy who abuses people. Yeah. So you really do need a thick skin, and just be you. Don't pretend. Because they'll call you, there's a time they call me for a job based on how I used to talk about a specific issue on Twitter, and these guys are like, come, we feel like you could represent our brand properly, and I don't, it was a beer company, but I don't drink, but because of my tweets and the way I keep tweeting, they thought I actually drink. So in my head, I'm like, oh, so I actually have to be real online, or people are going to completely misinterpret you.
So be you as
Just
the egg.
be you.
And even if the pressure comes through, you have ways of protecting the egg. That's why sometimes we have trays to always protect the eggs as you're in transit. Thank you so much for joining on the conversation about mental health in regards to social media. Juliet Namfuka, I'm sorry about the name, but thank you so much. You have been joined by Juliet Namfuka. She is a researcher with collaboration on international ICT policy for East and Southern Africa. Also joined by a social media influencer, Piper Faisal, who shares his perspective of social media being just have thick skin. People are going to say things, but be you.
They will always say things.
And also Timothy Kalyajira, who has now said he's also a part of the advocacy bit of things in regards to that. Yes, and he is a veteran journalist and an online publisher, Kampala Express. Thank you so much for joining us, Timothy. Remember that your mental health is as fragile as this egg. Do the most that you can. Filter those comments and be you. you, but protect yourself as you be you, because there are a number of people on social media that are going through some things, and sometimes they portray it on you eventually. Have yourselves a lovely day, but Mala is coming through with a business update before we wrap up.
You're watching Morning at NTV. They're young, stylish, and with their own sense of fun.